Bill had a conversation with me, and these were always tricky conversations. And it wasn't the only time we had it, but he said, I don't know how much time we want to spend messing around in the running game. He's like, I just don't, I don't think we're going to win the game that way. Mm-hmm. That's not where our strength lies. That's not where our advantage is. And so he was willing, whenever he always said something like that to me, I always say like, okay, well, tell me what does that mean? Like, do you not want me to put any runs in? Like ever? No, I'm not saying that, but I mean, like, I don't think I want to spend a lot of time running the ball, so then he'd like leave and I'm like, I still don't know. Like what I'm doing.
That's the beauty of Bill is like, it was more intellectual than it was. Like I've been around coaches just like berate you, right? Oh, yeah. And eventually you're like, all right, like I'm good. But it was the intellectual mind bombs that would go off later and you're like, what did he just say right there?
Yeah. He would give he would leave you with
2
the
hours later,
cliffhanger.
you're like, son of a, what did he say? The thing like you guys wouldn't see is like we would go on road trips and we'd have the bus drivers and stuff and like everybody be on the plane, Bill be out there like giving them cash. He'd be like tipping all the bus drivers and like making sure that they were okay or, just that was all the stuff where.
He has a heart.
Killing me,
I love
bro.
it.
Killing me, bro.
And Bill's kind of pissed off. Like,
yeah, what did you do? I heard that story once. You went into his office and what did you do?
So I had this remote, right? And again, this is back in the day when this stuff didn't really exist, but I was always surfing the net and it was a mouse and it plugged in actually. But it didn't do anything when you plugged it in. You couldn't actually control the mouse. But there were, I don't know how you get this much energy out of 2 AAA batteries, but those 2 AAA batteries, when you hit that mouse button, it would send like Jesus through your body like real quick. And so he was in a staff meeting. It was in training camp and nobody was there. So I slip in and I'm on my way out. They're still working really hard trying to make us better. And I go in there and I put that thing on his laptop on his desk. I come in the next morning, dying, neck's killing me. It's like the start of training camp. I'm not even thinking about what I did the night before. And Berj is like, immediately when I walk in, he's like, not good. like seriously, like, and you can see in his eyes, like,
and Berj is the Berj.
He not good. And I'm like, what? And but I know what he's saying, right? But I'm like, what are you talking about? Deny till you die. And he's like, just telling you, it's not good, man. What happens is not good. And I'm like, hey, look. I can't play this game right now. I got to go get ready. So I walk into the meal room, and when I walk in there, Matty P is just got some toast or something, and he turns around and he sees me, and he's like, "You're an idiot." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "You too?" And he's like, "Hey, man, he's fired up, and because of your dumb ass, we spent like 2 more extra hours here last night." And I'm like, "For what?" And he goes, "I know it was you." And when he shocked himself the first time, he had his hand off the keyboard. The second time, his hand hit the keyboard and it deleted his notes. You know how he takes notes every single day? Of everything.
Everything. What did Bill say?
Hey, man, he was fired up. He basically told me, if you go in my office again, I will kill you. And, of course, I denied it. I'm like, Coach, what are we even talking about? He's like, you know exactly what we're talking about. I really don't. I said, but I'm going to get some food here. I'll see you in the meeting room. But it was weird because Matty P came at me and so did Berj, and I thought they were like flipping it on me, right? Like, oh, we're gonna make him think that Coach is really fired up. No, Coach, because Dante was the last one. Because Dante doesn't mess around. Dante was real matter of fact.
What did Scar say?
he's like, I don't think that was a good idea. You probably shouldn't go in the head coach's office. And I'm like, you too? I'm like, I don't know what you're even talking about.
Bill would take his shoes off, and Bill, as you know, Bill didn't wear socks.
Yeah.
So and at that time, before the new, offices were set up, the quarterback meeting room was pretty small. So Bill, I would sit in the corner. I'd be like stuffed in the corner. Josh was in the back, and Bill was running the clicker, and Tom was over here, and Matt was there, and Matt Gutierrez. Remember those guys? Goot, Kevin O'Connell. And so I remember this one meeting, and Matt Castle was like, "What is that smell? Like, what is that smell?" And like nobody says anything, and we're all like, Matt Castle
didn't give a fuck.
He was the very funny guy who didn't care about making anyone uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? Like,
actually looked for it. He looked to make you.
He loved it. He loved making you. And so he was like, no, seriously, like, what is that? Bill, is that your feet? And Bill, I'll never forget this. Bill looked at him and goes, Castle, just shut the fuck up.
he asked me a couple of questions about, he wanted to know who the gunner was, the right gunner on the Detroit Lions, a team that we hadn't played that year. And I didn't know who it was. And he mother effed me. He said, if why don't you just do your job? Because if you were an expert in your job, you'd know who the right gunner is. I said, Bill, we didn't play the Detroit Lions. So that sounds like an excuse to me, a-hole.
Like the most slight expression, like you screwed something up and you're going to get. Like that's all. Did you see that? I don't know if you even noticed that.
I saw that one. Fuck.
You know? But it's not like, it's not in your face. Like that's a Parcells fear. Like that could happen. But with Bill, it's more of those types of things that you're trying to avoid.
It's kind of like disappointing your father.
Yeah, you don't want to disappoint the guy.
He came on the road with us. Like few people know that he was a closet drummer. And Tico gave him some lessons and we bought him a kit. And he was trying to learn how to play the drums.
Bill knows how to play the drums.
Well enough. Yeah.
Did Bill ever make it out to the China bar?
I don't think I don't know if Belichick ever went to the China Club.
Bill put me in fat camp, like when I was overweight, coming in as a running back. And do you want me to go ahead and elaborate on that story?
What is fat camp?
Man.
Was it heavyweights?
Man.
Did he bring in Ben Stiller, Tony Perkins?
Bro, it was one of those deals.
Fucking Belichick says Tony Perkins right now.
Man, you get to New England, and of course you're going in there, and it's Bill Belichick. And Bill's intimidating, bro. Like, you got to give it to him, man. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's got a system in place, and you don't mess with him. You know what I mean? You just don't. You respect him. You're in the presence of one of the greatest to ever do it, if not the greatest coach to ever do it. I'm going to give him his, man. He is. Because I played for a lot of ball coaches. But, you have that meeting where you come in there, and you're a rookie. He gives you your playing weight, and he brought me into the office because I go to the weight room and Coach Nash hop on the scale, Ridley, and I hopped on the scale.
How much was it?
And I'm leaving.
How much was it?
About 235, 238, somewhere in that.
What year is this? Rookie year?
It's my rookie year. So
you came in at 238?
Came in. I played at LSU around 230. You know what I mean? Like as a running back.
But 8 pounds is 8 pounds.
8 pounds is a lot, bro. 8 pounds is a lot. And you wait till the story gets going because y'all gonna understand.
What's the weight? What's the weight?
So Nash gets in there. Coach Nash is our strength coach. And he's like, Ridley, hop on the scale. So I hop on the scale, and I think I was tipping that thing at between 235, 240. SEC running back between the tackles. I'm a big back. Hey, I obviously did something right because, Coach, you drafted me. You like what you saw. Nash is like, Ridley, you got some work to do. And I'm like, all right, I ain't scared of work. Coach said you got to be at 220. I said, 220? How? I said, Nash, you're tripping. I told you you're tripping, bro. I said, nah. He said, don't ask me. I'm just telling you what the boss man said. And I said, well, which boss man we talking about? He said, you can go see the head man if you want to. Psh, there I went. You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? I got to go talk to Coach and see what's up because
so you went from weight room.
Yeah.
You took that long ass walk down those hallways
to that entry door.
And you saw Berj.
Cross Berj's office. I said, Berj, is Coach available? And I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. I might have been getting off on the wrong foot with Bill Belichick because here I am as a rookie walking into his office trying to tell him what my playing weight would be. But what do I know? I'm a rookie, guys. You know what I mean? I'm just coming in like, Coach, come on.
So Bill's sits you down.
And when I walk in there, Bill's sitting behind his desk. And he's like, come on in and sit down. So I walked in and sat down. He's like, what you got, Rid? I said, Coach, I need to talk to you about this weight. I was like, I just weighed in, and Coach Nash told me at the weight that you have told him that you want me to play at. And I'm just making sure this is the right weight and this is not like a mistake. And he said, well, what's the number? I can't really remember what I had, and yada, yada. I said, well, the number is.
You could have gone right there. If you wanted to make the decision, you could have said 225 because if he didn't remember the weight, maybe he would have agreed at 225. All right, you messed up. Go ahead.
I should have had a better negotiation tactic, is what Jules said. But I'm just in there trying not to die and starve myself out at this rate. So I go in and I say, well, Coach, this weight that you want me at, I said, Coach Nash said you want me at 220. And I said, that's impossible. So I'm just telling you right now, I don't know what it is. And I said, I don't know how you want me to get there. I said, I'll bust my ass and do whatever. But I'm like, 220. I said, can I just tell you a little bit about me? And like he doesn't already know you drafted me. The Patriots investigate everybody. They know everything about you before they even get you in the building. So I said, Coach,
What did he say when can I tell you about me?
I said, can I tell you about me? And he was like, sure. You know, he's just dry. You know, he's not gonna do much. I pulled out my driver's license. And I pulled out my driver's. It's a true story. I pulled out my driver's license. I said, Coach,
See, look, I'm 240.
I just want to show you this. I said, Coach, and I promise it's a true story. I said, I just want to tell you, like, if you can look at my driver's license, I slid it on his desk. You know, I'm bold as a rookie. He's like, who's this clown? You know what I mean? I said, these numbers that are on my driver's license are from when I got my permit in high school before I even got a driver's license, my permit. And on my permit at 15 and a half years old, I was 5'11", 220 pounds. That's how much I weighed in high school. So I said, Coach, you mean to tell me that you want me to drop from 238 all the way down to 220? And he looked at me and he said, kind of smacked those lips. Well, Red, I mean, really, I think it's only about $563 per pound per day that you're overweight. So it's really up to you. And I said, what? I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, per pound per day. And he doubled down on it. I was like, I can do quick math, bro. I'm third round draft pick. I ain't got money like that.
The worst part is when he would put things on the screen and it's a low light and he wouldn't even say anything. He had the picture of, I think it was the one-on-one rep against Vince where he dumped me on my head. And he's just holding the little laser dot right at the point. So everybody, he's rewinding it and playing it and rewinding and playing. And then he goes, you guys didn't do any one-on-ones at Penn State? And I'm just like, everybody's laughing. Like you feel like the whole world, I'm like, I'm getting cut. That's it. I mean, this has been a fun ride. It's been like a cool 13 days. But I'm going home.
I had a bonus in my contract where I get X amount of dollars if I come and make weight, and I had a reporting bonus. So I had a reporting bonus. You know, I can say it now because
you had a weight clause,
huh? No, that's what's part of my reporting bonus. I got to come on time, make weight, pass the conditioning test.
Yeah, we all got that.
Exactly. I got $1 million for mine though.
Workout bonus, $1 million.
No, that was reporting bonus. My workout bonus was $100,000.
You know,
so that's what the story.
Just in case they catch you. Just in case they catch you, they save $1 million.
Yeah. Hey,
they know you can do it.
Yeah,
just in case.
So that was your incentive to come in and, like I said, I was going to pass the conditioning test. Hey, I don't give a damn if I had to sit in the sauna for 50 hours straight. I'm going to get that damn bonus. You know what I mean?
Easy.
But it was $100,000. So, you know, when I came in, I got I came in and got my checks. You know what I mean? At the time, you know, you got direct deposit, but you get your receipt.
Yeah.
So I got one. I'm like, where my little $100,000 at? So, and of course, you know, I go down. They say I go upstairs, and they say you got to go talk to Bill. I'm like, well, shit. Okay, hey Bill, I'm missing $100,000. He's like, well. He said, we didn't talk this year. I said, what are you talking about? Because I went to Bob Kersey, you know, the great Bob Kersey, Olympic, you know, gold medal winning coach. I trained with him. I never stayed in the off season, you know, for the program. So, you know, I got under my contract, as long as it was approved by the head coach or GM, which it always was, I get both checks. So he said, we didn't talk this year because we talked last year because, like I said, he was fairly new to it and he approved it. It was fine. So I'll just assume it's like that every year.
Yeah.
I signed this shit when you was a Jet. You remember you was a Jet when I signed this contract. So when you came, here it is, we talked.
Jet for you guys, that's a little child.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Or young in your profession.
Exactly.
That's some Florida talk.
Yeah, exactly. So now I comes and he sit there and is like, no. I'm like, Bill, man, all right. So I called my financial advisor. I was like, yo, did that $1 million clear yet? Oh, not yet. So, you know, I went out, I left, and I came back. So Bill know me. So I'm coming back in, and Berj, he was like, hey, he said, he's in there. Bill had my contract sitting on, he had my contract sitting on his
Laid
desk. Laid out, highlighted. He had the shit highlighted, saying, hey, it has to be approved of this, language. I'm like, and it was always approved. You was a fucking Jet. He said, well, Andy Weiserchuck is no longer the GM. And I'm the head coach, and I say no. Fine. So I was like, all right. I just took my ass to the locker room, got my stuff out the thing, and I walked on out. I was gone for 3 days. See, it wasn't no social media and all that stuff there. So I was gone for 3 days, bro. And finally got the call because they got to call you and say, and this is during training camp, but I know in training camp, you cannot find me more than $1,200 a day. So as far it was $1,000 a day at the time.
Yeah. It's like
So-
20 now.
Huh?
It's like 20 grand.
Oh yeah.
Unexcused absence. Keep going.
Yeah. So it was 1,000. It was like it was no. It was at 5,000. Was it 5,000? Yeah, it was 5,000. So I said, as far as I'm concerned, I got 20 practices. I'll be back at on day 21 to get that $6 million salary. I'll be back for that. But if I'm losing 100,000, I'm gonna lose this shit legit. So I was gone. You know what I mean? So eventually, Berj called me, got on the phone, bring your ass down here. Da da da. All right. I said, Bill, I want my money. He said, you come down here, we talk about that shit later. So I go.
Going to the principal's office.
No,
That's what people
no,
don't
he said,
realize. He calls
exactly.
the principal's
No,
office.
he told me to come to go to the game because we were playing down in Washington.
So you didn't practice all camp?
No, I didn't. I was gone for 3 days. I left.
Oh, 3 days.
Exactly.
And
Because
then
guess
you-
what? Because guess what? The $1 million cleared.
Okay.
That was clear. That was in the bank. So as far as I'm concerned, I got $100,000 right here that's out there. And to me, where I come from, that's a lot of goddamn money.
That's a lot of money anywhere.
That's the kind that you don't get a financial advisor. You get him the $1 million, but you keep the 100,000 yourself. You know, do what you got to do. You know,
Hey.
that's the pocket change at that time.
That's
you know,
a
when you
lot
get
of money.
that's a lot of money. But two things. So like I said, where I come from, that's life changing. So for me, I was like, I'm not that guy. I'm going to leave, and I'll be back. But it also had the status of who I was too, so I knew that as well. So do what you got to do. So I left. He called me. Get your ass on the plane. We go on the wall. I think it was Washington preseason. He didn't start me. He put me in with the goddamn scrubs, bro. Willie and everybody eating hot dogs on the sideline, laughing and shit. So he puts me in. So now all the guys on the other side, they really going. You know, they trying to make the team.
they're trying to make a team.
Yeah, and they trying to
Get Ty Law.
I'm getting cut and all that. I was like, man, you know, Willie and was clowning, laughing, right? So we comes back in. Next day, had to come in on Monday. I didn't even take my stuff off. I was at the table eating breakfast, still with my clothes on. You know, Bill came by with an envelope. He sat it right to me. He's like, "Fucking asshole."